If you're trying to eat healthier, then you might be wondering about different things you can do to add flavor to your food. So today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite condiments that I always have on hand. Now, of course, there are a lot of different things you can use to add flavor to your food, herbs, spices, all kinds of stuff. But today I thought it would be fun to talk about condiments. And a quick note before we get into these, just because something isn't included here in my personal lineup, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't eat it or even that I don't eat it, because there are a lot of other things that I use outside of the things I'm gonna show you today. But these are the items that I use all the time, the ones that are kind of the top tier, that show up a lot in my cooking and that I think make a really big difference in my food. So let's get started with these, and I thought we could begin with something pretty basic, and that is mustard. So I like to keep two different mustards on hand. We can start with this one. So this is just a spicy brown Dijon mustard. It's a Wegmans store brand. The brand doesn't really matter. This is just like a nice generic mustard that I like to keep on hand for any time I want to add mustard into something, but maybe the mustard isn't necessarily the star ingredient. So for example, if I'm making an oil and vinegar salad dressing, you know, the oil and vinegar want to separate. So if you add in a squirt of Dijon mustard, that can act as an emulsifier and keep everything staying together and mix up a little bit better. So I will use this for that. Also, if I am using mustard like to flavor some chicken or fish, something like that, then this is probably the one that I'm going to use. Now, the second mustard I like to keep on hand is this one, and this I use more when the mustard is going to be kind of front and center and you're really going to taste it. And I know I've talked about this stuff in videos, I've talked about it on Instagram, I've talked about it on Snapchat. It's amazing. This is the Annie's Organic Dijon mustard, and I just generally love mustard, but this stuff is the best mustard that I personally have ever had. Now, I don't know what they do to it to make it taste so good, but it is amazing. So I recommend, if you haven't tried it, especially if you're a mustard lover, definitely try to get your hands on this stuff because it just tastes really good, so I always have to have it in my fridge. Next, we need to talk about hot sauce, and I have two different options for this one as well. So the first one is Frank's Red Hot, just the original hot sauce from them. I know this is something that a lot of people keep in their fridges. It's just a good thing to have on hand anytime you're looking to spice something up. And I also really like it because it's a vinegar-based hot sauce. I love vinegar, Jason loves vinegar, so it's a really good option for us. And the way we use this most consistently, I guess, in our eating is with egg biscuits. I've been making that about every week or so here lately, and so this is a really good thing to add to those, to add some heat and add some flavor. The second hot sauce I like to keep on hand is Sriracha. And you might be thinking, isn't all hot sauce the same? Why do you need different kinds? Well, it really isn't, because, you know, this doesn't have the vinegar in it like the Frank's does, so it doesn't have that acidic flavor, and it has garlic in there, so that adds in another level of flavor. So it just depends on what you're looking for. You know, if you want to add some heat but you don't want the vinegar in there, then this is a good option, and then it also adds the garlic. And a lot of times I like to use both of them, especially on eggs. If you use the Frank's and the Sriracha together, that is a winning combination. Next on my list is soy sauce or tamari. It doesn't really matter which one. Soy sauce is made with soy and wheat. Tamari is just made with soy, so, you know, if you're gluten-free, then that might matter to you, or, you know, if you just like one better than the other. It doesn't really matter to me, I just buy whatever. But this is obviously great if I'm making anything that has kind of Asian flavors in it, just a good thing to have. Some people worry about the sodium with soy sauce, but I don't really worry about it. I mean, I'm adding a little bit of this into, you know, a big pot of something. And if I'm using this, I'm probably not gonna be using salt as much in my cooking and things like that. So I think it kind of balances out. The only time I would really worry about this is if you were like pouring it on all of your food, then that could be a problem. But usually I don't use this so much at the table as I do to add in at the end of cooking something, to add in the soy sauce flavor. And to kind of go along with the soy sauce, another thing I like to have on hand is fish sauce. And this, I'm not sure if it really counts as a condiment, because it's always going to be something that you use in your cooking, not something that you're going to add to your food later, but I wanted to talk about it, so I'm sneaking it in here. So fish sauce is kind of stinky, and it might be a little scary to you if you're not used to using it, but it adds really great flavor to food, especially to Asian foods and Asian inspired type of meals. Whenever you have those kinds of flavors going on, this is the thing that really takes it to the next level. And And so if you ever see a recipe that calls for it, don't shy away, because this is essential for me in my kitchen. If I'm making any sort of Asian or Asian inspired meal, this is probably going to be going in there, especially in the summer. I make a lot of drunken noodles because we have a ton of Thai basil that I like to grow in the garden, and so we're making drunken noodles all the time, and this is an important part of that, so I always have to have it around. Next up is a vinegar, because like I said, I love vinegar, and this is balsamic vinegar, and I use this most of the time as a salad dressing because it's really easy and quick to just mix up a little balsamic vinaigrette dressing whenever I make a salad, and I love the way it tastes. I mean, I do use it in other things too, but most of the time it's going to be used for salad dressing, and I do keep other vinegars on hand: red wine vinegar, rice vinegar, apple cider vinegar, but this is definitely my go-to. This gets used way more than anything else. And let me know in the comments what some of your favorite and most used condiments are, whether it's something that I mentioned in this video or if it's something else entirely. And also, if you like these kind of basic cooking, what I use in my kitchen type of videos, let me know that too. And if you did like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here and you want more healthy eating tips and nutrition info and healthy recipes, make sure that you subscribe, because eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle really doesn't have to be complicated, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.